time for a little bit more optimism, for a little bit more Eagle love. The host of the pregame show on Sundays prior to an Eagle game, and then the post game, and then the co-host of Birds 365. It is Big Z, Zander Krause.
What's up, Big Show?
How's it going, brother?
Good, man. I'm feeling good after that win, bro. I thought they really handled business. I am not in the camp of we're going to the Super Bowl, but I'm also not in the camp of we play the Giants and you take absolutely nothing from it. And what was the word John used this morning? The word he used about the offense, not translatable or something along those lines where you can't use any of it. And I just completely dismissed that assumption.
Well, you're going to have to throw out of the pocket to win a Super Bowl. You're not going to run the ball 45 times to win a Super Bowl in a playoff game. Name me a game that's ever been done like that. Never.
Yeah,
Never
but there's got to be nuance.
NFL.
There's got to be nuance, and you saw that this week with the approach based on the opponent.
You're not going to win a Super Bowl running the ball like that. No one does that. You're not going to beat Mahomes like that.
Why do you say that?
Because you're not going to run the ball for 270 yards against Kansas City.
Well, that's fine, but I think when you look at the game you played yesterday and their approach, I mean, did that not show you that they're willing to get off of what they've done, what they want to do when the game calls for it?
So you think you can be one-dimensional and win in the playoffs?
I'm not saying that.
Well, that's what that was yesterday. That was 14 passes is one-dimensional on 45 carries.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm not going to lie about that. That you're right about that, but it adds something to the offense that you hadn't seen in a while.
How about this, Zander? Do you agree with this? The one thing that my big takeaway is that they saw something to dominate a game. And the one thing, maybe we're saying the same thing in a way, because here, let me go here with this. The one thing that the Eagles showed you that's different than Kansas City. Kansas City can't run the ball for 270 yards. But you know what you can do? You can. Can you throw the ball for 260? Are you saying that there's more? You see more versatility opportunities?
Well, no, because you tell me all the time before going into a game, if they throw for 35 times, they're going to lose. If he throws less than 25, they're going to win. So why is that approach? Now that they did that, now you're saying it's one-dimensional? That's the better way to win with Jaylen Herz.
But that's right. But I never said they'd win a Super Bowl with him at the quarterback
they came
position.
within a couple plays by doing that.
Oh, yeah, I got all that. So did Jimmy Garoppolo getting, and so did Brock Purdy last year get into an overtime and almost win it too. So, I mean, I get it.
Isn't that what we want?
You want balance. You got to have balance, man. You got to have balance. How about this?
Did they not show balance yesterday? What am I missing?
45 carries and 14 passes is not
but that's what
balance.
That particular game called for.
They won a game playing.
And by the way, let me ask you this. What was the only quarter and the only stretch in that game that the Philadelphia Eagles did not score or look competent on offense?
The first quarter.
Why? Because they were throwing the ball everywhere. The next drive in the second quarter started. They had I forget how many yard drive it was. It was 8 straight run plays right to the end zone.
No, in the last 40 years, nobody's won a Super Bowl like this.
Yeah, but I'm not looking at it. When I think about the Eagles offense, I don't think about you have to be here, and then you're here, and then you're here again, and then you're here. I am looking at a linear progression each week. If you can add something to your offense over time and build up each element of the offense, by the time you get to the other side of Thanksgiving, your offense is not one-dimensional. It's
who's saying that they're going to go into Cincinnati and run the ball? They haven't shown it but one game in the last month, year and a half.
They found something that they can build on that
so
adds to the dimensions of the offense. I'm not looking to be the greatest team in the world in October. I think they should stick to some part of it, yes. Okay. You have a top 5 offensive line. You're not going to run behind it?
Okay.
Like I'm saying, all right, you're right. You're probably not going to win.
I don't believe they're going to stick to it.
Isn't this progress in showing that this is what this game called for, and they knew that was the best way to victory? They didn't need to put it on. We say it all the time. Stop putting everything on Jaylen Herz. They didn't do it yesterday, and it worked well.
Okay.
Now
So,
take the good from it and build on it.
okay,
That's an element to the offense you've now added.
okay.
Now, by the time you get to the end of the year, if they rely on this a little bit more, I'm not saying become a 45 runs a game guy. Rely on this a little bit more. Throw when you need to throw. Jaylen Herz was under center a little bit yesterday. The first play from scrimmage was a play action pass under center. Add some of that in. Now, all of a sudden, by the time you're in December and late December into January, you have a more well-rounded offense. That's what we've been looking for from Kellen Moore.
I don't believe they're going to stick to that formula. They have
I
not
don't think they're going
shown
to
me.
stick to it full time. There's no doubt.
No, I don't think they're going to stick to it when they get into these late in the December and January games and they get into the playoffs.
Okay, well, if the fucking Eagles organization loves analytics so much and they want to build everything that they do as an organization on analytics, how about this for the analytics department? 658 rushing yards in 6 games, the most ever by an Eagles running back in history through 6 games. Do the analytics guys look at that and say, you know what? Let's take our dual threat quarterback and instead throw the ball 50 times a game? Get new analytics if that's your analytics, because the analytics tell me, hey, that works.
Well, again, the two things that I'll say to you once again, you can't name me a top flight running back that has led an NFL team to a Super Bowl in the last 15 years. And so when you say that you're going to run the ball,
Yeah, but
I mean, look, even the running backs and wide receivers, this is all quarterback, dude. If your quarterback can't win from the pocket, you're not going to win.
yeah, but we're not one dimensional. Like, we're not built like the Giants were. And what I mean by that is you have players.
The Giants were so bad they only had to beat them one-dimensionally.
No, I know. I'm saying our offense is not. I get what you're saying. You can't just beat them with a running attack. We only had a running attack yesterday, but that doesn't mean that's all we are. We have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert. Eventually, something's got to give. I think adding this to the offense can only improve your offense overall. I get what you're saying. You're right. I mean, and by the way, I'm not going to live in delusion land of, become, ground and pound team. That's not what the organization's ever going to do. It's not what they're ever going to do.
By the way, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, because what did it do? Look what it did to the Giants in the second half. They fucking quit. They put their hands up. Wasn't that 22? How many times you see teams put, by the way, all super chats will be read. Please hit the like button, guys. Thank you very much. Zander, they knocked that team into submission. Now, will they stick to that? Now, again, too, one thing I want to bring up with the A.J. Brown comment.
Yeah, I'm with you on this. The more I listen to that comment, and John mentioned it to me this morning. Sorry to cut you off. I'll let you go, but
no, go ahead. I want to hear it.
I didn't respond to it this morning and almost didn't register. And then after the show, I'm going back and I'm listening and I'm like, even if you're kidding, there's always some truth in jokes, right?
Correct.
So that's what they say.
Correct.
Why kid about that? You're wearing a C. It's the same problem you have with Darius Slay. You're wearing a C on your chest. Your guy just marched back into MetLife Stadium and probably got a coaching staff and a GM fired because he proved how great of a football player he is. And you got to say, oh, we need the ball too.
And you beat a team by
3,000 yards in 2 seasons in Philly. You're making $32 million a year. Sit down and and by the way, the dude had 89 yards and a touchdown yesterday.
And you beat a team by 25.
Sit down and shut up, AJ. This is where I look. I've defended AJ on this show. How many times to you? And I tell you all the time, I can't defend that.
He's a great player. There is no doubt about it. But when you're asked the question and you answer it, and I wanted to make sure that I wrote it down exactly in how he said it. And again, like you said, a little tongue in cheek, but at the end of the day, you see his antics on the sideline sometimes talking about his targets. Now get this, A.J. Brown asked about the Eagles only having 14 passing attempts. He laughed twice. Then he said this, it's a good thing, man. Hey, whatever. Happy the guys were able to run the ball, but we want the ball also, man. I mean, I wish we had more passing attempts to us. You take it for what it is, and now it's on to the next game. And I sat there and thought about this, and I went, why didn't you just say, look at Devontae, dude. 1 catch, -2 yards. That might still, in my opinion, been 200 yards of receiving yards. I fucking love the way that guy conducts himself and handles himself. Can you imagine if A.J. Brown came out of that game with one catch and -2 yards and you still won by 25? There would be a new topic this week. Last week it was Nick. This week it would be him. And my point again is, like you said, is it a nothing burger? But this just shows you why Jaylen has to get the ball to him.
Yeah.
It's important to him to get the ball to him. Look, he's a great player. I get it. But A.J. Brown was a non-factor last year down the stretch for winning the NFC East and home field advantage. He was a non-factor, and they were still throwing him the third most targets in the league. Come on, dude. You won a game by 25 points. Who cares? Doesn't this go down? This is why they got rid of Stephon Diggs in Buffalo. You know why? Last year they had a game where they threw the ball 14 times against Dallas, and they won, right? Stephon bitched about it. They moved his ass because they didn't want that guy to be reliant on one guy.
Here's what I'll say. They better keep AJ happy because this motherfucking offense doesn't work when that dude doesn't get the ball. So look, I don't love the comments, but man,
wait a minute. Who do you think is more deadly right now, Barkley or AJ?
I think they're both pretty dead. Well, here's the thing. When AJ goes out, they prove they can't win without him. We haven't yet seen that with Barkley.
Correct.
And that's the difference. Now, right now, Barkley's a dominant player. 686 rushing yards, in 6 games. The dude
10 yards to carry.
I mean, the dude is just an absolute beast. And I'm still trying to get John to eat his crow on Saquon, which he just won't do. He told me wasn't going to make a difference on this team. And the dude is he's making about as big of a difference. He's making a near Derrick Henry impact on this team. I mean, right there with him. Maybe not as much as Derrick Henry has in Baltimore, but right there with him. And I'm just waiting for Johnny Mac to say, yeah, I was dead wrong about Saquon. He won't do it, though.
Let me tell you what I told Carton, and Carton's going to bring this up tomorrow. I said this: if that wasn't the ultimate fuck you, Joe Schoen yesterday, he sat out the fourth quarter.
Yep.
They didn't play, jammed it in their face. And dude, I'm with every single Giant fan. You know what that was? I was like this: that guy never lived up to the second pick in the draft. Well, you know what he showed you in that game on Sunday? Dude, if you built a competent O-line, you put good players around me. Shit, if you put Ryan Tannehill around me, I would have won you games and we would have been a good football team. But at the end of the day, they didn't do it. They did let him down. If Saquon Barkley had played his entire career in Philadelphia, he'd be in Canton.
Yeah, I mean, I like that take that you said. Boy, I tell you what, with this offensive line, the way he's running right now, yeah, it'd be hard for me to dispute that. But as you mentioned, this isn't what the team wants to do. So as much as Saquon Barkley has impressed me,
so troubling.
I would make him the focal point of the all. When I say that, even John had the same interpretation. I must not be getting it across correctly because you had the same takeaway. I'm not saying to just run the ball. Like when you go into a game versus, I don't like.
But John knows you're not going to do that normally to a team. You're not going to run for 270, dude.
Yeah, but John also believes that the organization is right to just throw the ball all day.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
You're not going to win. No, he's not.
You got to build on it, though, Sills. When you have a top 5 offensive line, when you have a running back like Saquon Barkley, run it down their throat. It's like the most common part of football. You learn it in Pop Warner.
That's why AJ was wide open. That's why AJ was open on that touchdown pass because they were playing close to the line of scrimmage.
Football? Why can't we play like even on the first couple of drives again? They airing the ball out. Like the first, I mentioned the first play from scrimmage. That was under center. It was a play action pass. They picked up a first down. I hated it. I mean, it was great to see him under center and run play action, but I'm like, man, work him into the game. Run the ball. Rely on that offensive line. Play bully ball. And then watch the game open up. Watch Jaylen Herz step up to the line and say, oh, man, I know exactly where I'm going with the ball because now they're cheating to try and take away Saquon Barkley. Or they're cheating on this side to try and take away A.J. Brown. So I know it's going to open up everything for the quarterback. By the way, the young quarterback who just took into his hands all the pre-snap reading, all the coverage calls, all the, the audibling, all of those things he's now doing. I think we've proven that we potentially put too much on Jaylen Hurts' plate too quick. I'm not saying scale back fully, but maybe let him ease into things. You have a great offensive line and a great running back.
Ease
You
into
have
things with a $50 million
you have every
quarterback?
tool you need, though,
No
Silver.
way. Why'd you pay him $50 million then you're easing things in?
That's what John says. So you're going to scale back
You're
now?
paying a guy $50 million. We got to fucking ease into the game plan with this guy. Come on here, man.
Dude, that's
Let's
just good
go.
football.
Well, then you don't have the right game plan.
Well, that's a whole nother conversation. We definitely don't have the right game
How
plan. That's why he got 0 points in the first quarter.
about this one here? Dude, let me read you this. This is pretty. When I saw these numbers, first 6 weeks of the season for the Eagle defense, 19.2 a game, 7th. 304.3 total yards, 9th. 189.2 pass defense, 9th. 115.2 rush defense, 15th. 2 takeaways, which is the worst in the league, which to me, it's always how the ball bounces sometimes. I mean, you build on that.
No doubt. I think 100% you build on that.
I mean, we're not talking about Browns and Giants here. We're talking about the first 6 weeks here. I mean,
That's pretty. That's
encouraging.
those numbers are pretty impressive. I mean, that's pretty crazy that's what the numbers are. Look, the defense is definitely coming alive. Now, yesterday, I give the defense, as great as they were yesterday, if you're going to talk about like diminishing your takeaways because of opponent, I'm taking more away from the defense than I am from the offense.
Oh, yes.
That Giants defense led the league in sacks. They were a top 10 defense coming into the game in every meaningful category.
And that guy in the middle's the real deal.
Yes, he is. And he showed it again yesterday. But ultimately, we bullied them. We destroyed them. Now, that Giants offense, oh boy. Yeah, they're not there. That Giants offense is
Yeah,
bad.
but Zander, what I liked about the way the defense, they never let them have hope. And they stifled them and they suffocated them and they did the things. And I got to tell you, the last 2 weeks, I think Vic Fangio's come to the conclusion he can't sit back in his style of play and let them dictate the tempo to him. He's going to dictate the tempo. I'll tell you something else, man. I don't know if you agree with me on this one or not, but that Cooper DeJean, now I want people to say this, and I want them to understand when I say this. He is a better athlete than Quinyon Mitchell. I'm not saying he's a better corner, not even near close saying that. But I'll tell you what, I see why people called him like a high school savant when he was in Iowa, where he was a 29-point scorer in high school basketball. He was this track and field superstar, high hurdler. He was this dude. He is some athlete. Yeah. You can see it.
Yeah, you're saying athlete.
Returns.
Yeah. You're saying athlete. I mean, being a great
athlete. I'm saying athlete. Yeah.
A great corner. Yeah. I think Quinyon's clearly a home run pick, at least through 6 games as a cornerback. He looks like he could be a bona fide cornerback 1 for a very long time. But boy, to your point about Cooper DeJean, and you said something last night on the post-game show that I was thinking about. Britton Covey don't got a job here no more. He's not. Britton Covey might have been the best punt returner in the league by way of stats and all those things. He's not as good as that dude. That dude, Cooper DeJean, could see the field. He gets there. He's athletic, like you said, and he's not a pinball
Dude,
when he runs into traffic.
Over. Hey, he's looking for contact.
Yeah, he's not a crash test Covey, we used to call him.
No way, man. And plus, you know what? You notice one thing he did on punt returns too? How many times did he do this on the punt return? Dude, when you have a special guy, this is what Devin Hester used to do. So he's looking up, and then he did this, Zander. He looked down, he looked to his left, and he looked to his right. Do you know when you're running down and you see the guy, you're going under his movement and his eyes, and that's how it shifts on how you're going to tackle. What he did was he kept everyone in their lane until the last second, and it's a skill set. That's because this guy must have been a great baseball player too, because last second he would catch it and everyone would have to shift at the end. The real inexperienced guys do this. They look up, and what happens? The pursuit ends up coming down. The wide guy ends up going out wider, and you have that all turning because the guy's head in his position. Cooper DeJean was doing this. he was going like that, and he was keeping everybody in their lane. That is such a skill set. It's unbelievable to
Yeah,
watch.
and that's one of those things you don't really learn. You either got that or you don't probably. And
You know, exactly. Watch it. Like, it's like looking up for a fly ball, looking around and going like this, and then going like that and catching it.
yeah.
I mean,
The coordination on that is unbelievable.
absolutely, dude. He is. Okay, I mean, just absolutely fantastic here. Bryce Huff's. By the way, here, how about this one, dude? Josh Sweat's not getting enough love. He's playing really good football.
Yeah, he's been the most consistent edge all year. I mean, even back to game 1 and 2 when we were ripping the edge rushers, he was like not great, but he was the one where you weren't like, okay, he's out to pasture on the milk carton with Bryce Huff and Nolan Smith. You know, he's been solid this year, Josh Sweat, and you know, it's good because that's going to open everything up for the whole defense. If they can get home on the edge, it's going to make life easier for the guys in the middle. If life's easier for the guys in the middle, the whole defensive line is getting the pressure that they need. That now your cornerbacks and your second level linebackers, everybody is going to play better when that front seven does what, or front four really does what they're supposed to do. And that's what the defense is built on. John's been telling me that for months. You know, that defensive line, if they get pressure, everything else will work better. And that's what they're starting to do.
Thank you, Kimbo. I really appreciate that, Kim. Thank you very much. Sills, I come here for you. Your experience, football IQ, integrity. That's all. Right strategy for each individual game. True pro. Only reason I'm here. Kimbo, named like my wife, Kim. Thank you very much, Kim. I got your pictures. I promise you I'll follow you over at Dan Sileo Show on my X account.
So can I just say the women on this show are getting out of hand. They got Sileo acting a fool. Sue, that's you too, Sue. You and Kim. Everybody's got all these women in here got Sills acting a fool on the show.
Yeah, my wife goes like this. My wife goes like this. Good. You're 40 years old and you're dead anyway. All right. Hey, let me say this about Cam Jurgens. Cam got killed in the first half. But you know what he did in the second half? He settled down. They started running the ball. He created run game. How about when he got out there on the perimeter like he was Jason Kelsey, and he got out there and blew up that edge rusher, knocked that guy or linebacker on his ass, and Barkley goes down the sideline. Pretty damn good stuff there, man. I'll tell you what, he's never going to play against a guy like that in the middle ever again. And he won't. But he will, because he gets to see him again. This time at Lincoln Financial. So you get that. Hey, the only bad thing for Cam, he's got that guy 2 times a year. But that's going to make him better, man.
It's definitely going to make him better. I think that was just a power thing, though, man. Like even Jason Kelsey, sometimes in his career, I know people, might get mad at me for saying it because Jason Kelsey is one of those guys you can't criticize. And I'm not criticizing him. But every once in a while, Jason Kelsey would just be outpowered. Like a guy like Vita Vea. And that was what that was yesterday. It's not a knock on Cam Jurgens. It's more of a hat tip to Dexter Lawrence and how much of an actual beast that guy is. The power that he has is unbelievable. But look, nothing burger yesterday. We ran all over that team. We made that Giants defense look like a sieve.
Zander. Okay, so a nose tackle's on pace for 22 and a half.
How many sacks did he have yesterday?
2.
Oh, my God. He's up to 9 already?
Yeah, he's got 9 in 6 games.
Dexter is insane. 9 sacks as a nose through 7 games?
Yeah, 7 games. 7 games. He's got 9 sacks.
And he's got 10 games to go. This dude might get up to 20 sacks.
Dude, I've never seen anything like that there. Hey, what about
the way Jaylen holds the ball? He's good for another 2 next time he plays.
Absolutely. Yeah. What do you make of Jaylen's play?
I'm all right with it. I'm completely all right with it. Handle I think there's some micro things that you could look at and you're like, you probably want to get that fixed because at a later date, it might not work out so good when you have a playoff team, right? Like the 3rd down and 3 where he missed Smitty across the middle and he missed Gainwell out of the backfield. No, it was Gainwell, I think, on that play.
Okay.
And then you get to the 4th down and 3, and he makes it. I mean, I'm going to give him credit. The throw to A.J. Brown, the touchdown was absolutely
and he
perfect.
got hit in the face when he threw it.
Yes, he did. He was on his back foot. Perfect throw. But, you'd like to see him make that decision because it was right there in front of him on that 3rd down. But overall, look, he made up for it. And I think that's one of the parts of Jaylen Hertz that you just can't quantify. He does keep coming. And he doesn't give up, and he makes plays. I mean, here and there. You could criticize some of his abilities, his arm strength, whatever it is you want to criticize, the reading of the defenses. The dude makes plays sometimes. And that fourth down was a perfect example of it. That was a hell of a throw to A.J. Brown. Now, do I worry that he's relying on A.J.? A little bit, but A.J.'s proven he's good enough to handle it. So, if you add in that's why I'm excited about the run game, because it showed another dimension, right? Before we were AJ or bust. Like literally, that's what our offense was.
Oh, you are five completions for 25 yards besides AJ. Here's Jaylen Hertz's statistics in that game Sunday. If AJ's not on the field, 5 completions for 25 yards. How you doing?
Yeah, not good. But look, you added the run game dimension to it. Now let's get Devontae Smith. All of a sudden, by week 12, 13, 14, you got a more cohesive offensive unit. I'm looking at stacking bricks every week until, like Tom Brady and Bill Belichick said, the guys who won more Super Bowls than anybody. Football starts after Thanksgiving. Build on what you have right now and get there, get a little bit better each week. Figure out something to get better at, to incorporate in your offense, whether it's Jaylen getting better at the playbook, the pre-snap reading, whatever it is. This week it was the run game. Add that in. Make it a part of your cohesive offense by the end of the year, and you're going to be tough to stop. Now, whether they do that, who knows?
How about this? This is gonna sound so fucked up when I say this. Ready? And I can't believe I'm going to say this. I liked Nick Sirianni at the mic after the game. He took a shot at himself when he said something about, hey, ask a guy about being emotional. Not that I know anything about that. I thought that was funny, man.
Yeah.
I mean, and I thought those guys, they said, had the best week of practice. You know what really makes it weird, though? Is Hertz's responses. It's weird. Nick knows that I have his back, and, we had a really good week. We do things, he's really good. Everything is working out right. He's apologetic when he has to be. And I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, Jaylen, you're so weird that I'm going to start saying that, you're weird. So I'm going to start doing this to Hertz.
He is a little weird. He says some weird shit. Yeah, he says some weird shit.
So I'm going to take that.
Hey, look, I'm weird. I don't care.
That's not a rip. Hey, right. That's how I'm going to start taking that like this. He's just a weird guy.
Yeah, and we're all a little bit
weird responses. So I'm going to take it that it wasn't a shot at him. You know what I mean? Because he apologizes when he has to. I'm like, where the fuck did that come in? Why? What is that? I mean,
it's a weird comment. It is. He talks in weird, sometimes weird phrases, and you're kind of trying to figure out, read between the lines, or is he just saying shit to say shit? You don't know sometimes, and I think that's part of the personality you get with him. I just want him to freaking go out and win games, not turn the ball. Wait, by the way, can I call out a trend? You tell me about trends all the time. We talk about the defensive trend. Two games, turnover-free football. That's the beginning of a trend. This is what we need to see from the elite.
Why don't you add the other one? No turnovers, and you haven't given up a touchdown. That's how you win.
Well, that's defensive. I'm talking strictly.
No, I'm talking as a unit. I'm talking as a unit. Oh, you're isolating Hertz. Okay,
I'm isolating Hertz, but just specifically because we've been hard on him through the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season, and I have especially. And I got to call the honest side, and whenever I see. He's played good football the last 2 weeks. I think we can win with that type of football. Is it regressed from what people want to see when you talk about an elite quarterback and expecting him to put the team on your back and be this insane? Yeah, I'm not expecting that from Jaylen, nor do I want the team to do that. We got enough great players on this football team to not have everything run through Jaylen. If he doesn't turn the ball over, we're going to be in good position.
Do you know how many people like yourself would never look at a 14 attempt in 114, 10 yards of play, 5 for 25, and say he had a good game? No, but he did. Because you know what he did? All right, this ain't me. Here you go, Saquon. Kill him. Go get him, dog. Yeah, really. It was like they sucked. It was like they went like this. You see that scene from Django. He send that, send the dogs after people. Like this. It's like, hey man, go get them. Go send the dogs. Go get those people, man. Go get him. And you're like this. Wow, man. This guy here, without a doubt, sent the dogs on the Giants. He sent the dogs on the Giants, man. I was impressed with that. Or it's like a general going, go get them guys, man. Go get them. And you send your top warriors after people. Dude.
Yeah, no, you're right. I like it.
Was great.
Look at this jerk off who comes in and has to kill my mood. Martin Perez, roll tide, Zander. What a shame that team is this year. Yeah, I'm feeling myself slip into the Miami mediocrity of what they've been for the last 20 years.
Oh, oh, what a shot back at Sills. Hey, man, that's right. Django went back for some love.
Seriously, how about the Miami crew coming out of the woodwork?
Holy cow, Zander.
Oh, my God. Hey, nice to see you guys. You woke up from the 1990s. Oh, good to see everybody in the conversation again.
Holy cow. My goodness. All right. I'm going to say something here that I can't believe I'm going to do also. You ready? Second best player on the field for the Eagles was Nakobe Dean.
I'm not going there.
11 tackles.
20 tackles in open space.
Wait a minute. 11 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 hits on the quarterback.
Yeah, no, he played good, man. You're
dude,
right.
6 solos.
Yeah, I got his stats here. Dude played good, man. Dude played good.
He still has issues. Okay. He still does.
I think they're finding the role for him, though. You know, I think that's what you saw yesterday. Like, maybe they're realizing, all right, this guy's not a great linebacker in space, but he can get downhill, right? And that's what you're seeing. And they kind of did that at Georgia with the way how good that Georgia D-line was when he was there. He was able to get downhill a lot, and that's why he was an effective linebacker. Now they're starting to do that in Philly, and I think, you know, that's a credit to Vic Fangio, who seems to be, you know, switching things up with this defense. Now, here's you know, talk about a trend. Defense has looked good. It's going to be our best quarterback in a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Last time we had a competent quarterback, Baker Mayfield sliced and diced us, made us look like Swiss cheese. So you got Joe Burrow this week. I know they're not the greatest team in the world. You should be able to create pressure on their offensive line, but Joe Burrow can throw the ball with the best of them. So it's going to be interesting to see this week how Vic Fangio tries to slow him down. But overall, you're right, man. Nakobe Dean, great day yesterday. And it's clear you found something there, you know. And maybe this is why you let Devin White go, because this is ultimately Devin White's not the good traditional linebacker either. He's good downhill too. He's fast. He's athletic. This is the role you would wanted to see with Devin. Well, Nakobe Dean looked pretty damn good.
They're trying to create a role for him.
Yeah, they are, and I like it. I mean, I think you're going to struggle if you only have 2 linebackers on the field, and you know it's one of them Zach Bond and one of them's Nakobe Dean. Who, if you get him in space, I mean, if you're an offensive coordinator going up against the Eagles, it's very obvious what you want to do. Get Nakobe Dean in space. He's a traffic cone in space.
How about Nick Sirianni saying that Vic Fangio is a stud?
Well, Vic is looking pretty good right now.
He is, man. Hey, He goes like this. This guy doesn't get much sleep. Tell you what he does. He sits there at the complex the entire time. This guy's breaking things down to try to figure out the Rubik's Cube. And he did. I mean, dude, look, I know the Giants are awful, and they are still. And I've never heard of an awful NFL team being held to 119 total yards. I've never heard of a team like I can't remember the last time I've seen anything like that. So, I mean, Zander, let me ask you this. You think this team can beat the Detroit Lions?
No, not yet. I haven't seen enough of that. Dude, have you seen Jared Goff's numbers recently? I mean, I'm literally ready to redo my quarterback rankings because I went and looked at some tape on Jared Goff, who I admittedly have not followed too much this year. Since he lost to the Tampa Bay, or was it the Bucks? Yeah, the Bucks, and where he threw the ball 55 times and had multiple turnovers. That dude has been on a tear. He was like 22 of 25 yesterday. He was 18 of 18 the 1 week. He was like 23 for 25 2 weeks ago. The dude is shredding teams. And by the way, what are they doing?
What do you want to hear? They're running the ball too.
They're imposing their will, and they're opening things up for Jared Goff, and they're making him look like a superstar.
Do you want to hear something crazy? A stat? In the last 2 weeks for Jared Goff, he has more touchdown throws than he does incompletions.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, it was last week, the week he was 18 of 18.
Yeah, the week before. Yeah,
Let me look at his game log.
yeah.
I mean, the dude is just, yeah. So that week 2 was really his worst game. And you can clearly see the trend. Their offense, that's the only game they
They
lost.
started
And I was
running
trying to
the ball
explain this
more.
to John this morning, who's pushing back like I'm some sort of dumbass when I'm talking about running the football. The Lions lost one game. The game that they lost, they scored 16 points, and Jared Goff was 34 of 55. The other games they won. Jared Goff was 18 of 28, 18 of 23 in week 3, 18 for 18 in week 4, week 5 bye week, 18 of 25 last week versus the Cowboys, and they put up 47 points, and 22 for 25 this week versus the Vikings. So
He's got more
they're
touchdowns.
5-1, and the 5 games they won, he's had under 28 attempts every time, and really under 25, except for the one game where he was 18 to 28. The one game they lost, he threw the ball 55
Dude,
times and had two interceptions.
he's playing MVP football
Is
right
that a
now.
coincidence, though?
No.
I mean, it's obvious what helps quarterbacks.
Oh, yeah, play
Run the
action.
ball, set it up.
Yep.
And I hope the Eagles will do it. They clearly did it this week. But do
No
I think
doubt.
we can beat Detroit yet? No. And Fly's telling me I'm scared of Detroit. Fly, I'm not scared of Detroit.
No, they're not ready yet.
Our football team is not ready to beat that team. That team plays like that team has taken on the head coach, the personality of their head coach. They are a bully ball type of team. They are a power football team, and they have a great play action quarterback that plays into it perfectly. We are not that. We are cutesy. Yesterday we were bully, and you saw how dope it was. Hopefully we can get more.
Last one before the super chats here. We start reading them. By the way, all super chats will go to the will be read here in a second. Please hit the like button. It's Kansas City in the field right now, and I'll tell you why. Dude, they're dominating, and they're not even playing good ball.
I know.
They're dominating teams.
Doesn't look.
Dude, Patrick Mahomes can throw 5 picks in a game and still win it.
I know. It's crazy, man. Is that coaching?
It's coaching and ability and coordinator on defense and offense. By the way,
KC's got a good roster, but they don't have
Kansas City's a defensive team now.
Yeah, they are.
By far a defensive team. Hey, you could make the argument. Who's the better coordinator on that team? I don't know, man. It might be that guy on the other side of the ball, man.
Yeah,
I don't know how Steve Spagnuolo doesn't get an opportunity again to be a head coach, because even Les Snead and Kevin Demoff with the Rams say we didn't do enough to help him. Because I'll tell you what, dude, that guy won a Super Bowl and beat Brady and Brady and Belichick in the Super Bowl, okay, with the David Tyree hand deal. And then he turns around. Now he has 3 Super Bowls. He might have another one. That guy might have 5 Super Bowls at the end of this year.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's let it develop. I've been even.
Are you going to bet against him?
I'm not going to bet against him, but here's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to gift him a couple extra Super Bowls until he goes out and gets them. All right. Tom Brady won, what did he win? 7? And everyone's like, Mahomes is great. All right. He's not even halfway there yet.
Went to 10. Okay. Went to 10.
Yeah. So I think Mahomes will get to 10. Maybe. Well, that's a lot. Holy shit.
Well, he's been to 4. No, let me see.
He's been to 5, right?
He
only lost 4.
No, he's got 3 Super Bowl championships and he's lost 1, so he's been to 4.
He's been to 4. Right? He lost the one to Brady.
Yep.
Yeah, wow, it's pretty amazing. But like I said, I got before I start putting him in Brady,
and he's 27.
Before I put him in Brady territory, let's let him go out there and keep winning some games. You know how the NFL can change on a whim.
He's only 27 though, just to keep that in perspective too. I mean, he's got quite a couple more years. Let's get to the super chat, Zander.
Yeah, let's do it. Appreciate
Gary Cobb will be with us at the bottom of the hour too. Please hit the like button, guys. By the way, Zander, where are we on that like list right now? I know guys really came in the first hour. We were really
like list, which nobody knows what that means.
Yeah, like button. Thank you.
283. We're up to. What is a like list? You guys tell me in the chat. I'll look for it.
Holy shit, takes a shot at me for my Hurricanes and now the like list. Jesus,
well, dude, you better realize your Hurricanes. Your Hurricanes can't just keep squeaking by with some end
Number
game
one
heroics.
offense in college football in the
Yeah, and
country.
what's their defense rank? Because they'd be giving up 45 points a game for crying out loud. That's not a recipe to win late in the season, and you know it, Big Sills. They got some problems to clean up, and they keep having these crazy phantom comeback wins, making mistake after mistake. They're like the Eagles of last year. They're going to get caught when the good teams catch up to it.
The hatred, I feel it, and I love it and embrace it. I embrace the hate.
Brian is not happy with me for feeling okay about a win. He says
114 yards, buns squirting all over himself on third down. These guys in the chat preaching the book of Hertz makes me ill, sick, tragic quarterback play praised. Give me a break. Here's my girl, Kimbo. Sills, I come here for you.
Oh, we read that. I don't need to
No,
read
wait.
again.
Let me read it one more time. I want
to read it.
Sills, I come here for you, honey. Your experience, football, your wonderful IQ, lover, your integrity. I love you so much. That's all right. Right strategy for each individual game. A true pro is the only reason I come for you, honey.
Where's Carmine? Carmine, bail me out of this, will you, Carmine? Man in Black checking in. Good to see Man in Black back after he got taken to the woodshed on that one day. Man in Black, appreciate it, brother. He says, Sills, A.J. Brown was rolling around after a tush push having a blast. He was not bitching, so let's not blow up the irrelevant. Man in Black.
That's not what that was an oppressor.
He was right. Did you see the video of him rolling around after the tush push?
Yeah.
I mean, all right. What he said after the game, there was some truth to it. It was a stupid comment, Man in Black. Be real with yourself.
Defend your guy. It's all good. I get it. You know, you have a love affair with the guy. You think he's awesome like Xander. Xander thinks he's awesome too, but he says stupid shit like Slay does. Come on, man. Know where you are. You wear a C. Act like it.
No doubt. Uh-oh. Here comes Brian. Right at the head again.
No Xander.
No Xander is falling for the banana in the tailpipe again. Phony Hertz has duped you. You can't keep letting that QB hornswoggle you at every turn. Oh, my God. A reference to the legendary Hornswoggle. You got to be kidding me, Brian.
Oh, my God. Let's go.
Sills, what were your takeaways from Jaylen yesterday?
I thought he played a great game.
Oh, good.
No, get this. Well, if I'm going to say Josh Allen played a great game last year when he only threw the ball 14 times and they beat the Cowboys by 31, I have to be consistent here with Jaylen doing it. When you run the ball for 270 yards, I mean, dude, the objective. Hey, Brian, the objective is the win, isn't it?
I can't believe we got a Hornswoggle reference on the show today. Wait, can we bring up a picture of Hornswoggle?
Hornswoggle?
He was the little wrestler dude, right?
Isn't Hornswoggle like something that Wild E. Coyote used to bring up? And
dude, he's a little wrestler dude, man. Look at this guy. Oh, my gosh.
Hornswoggle?
You have got to be kidding me. This is who we just got a reference on a Monday after they win. The Birds win 28-3, and we're talking about Hornswoggle.
That's Hertz.
There you go. That's Hornswoggle, right?
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, Brian, are you trying to say that that's Jaylen right there?
I don't know what Brian's trying to say, but we got Hornswoggle. What are you trying to
say here?
Unbelievable.
He's an Irish
Jan checks in. By the way,
he's an Irish brother? Is that what you're saying, Brian?
I don't know what Brian was going for there. I really don't. And you can see he letting that QB hornswoggle you at every turn. Maybe he wasn't even referencing the legendary wrestler. Maybe not. Big shout out, by the way, to Jan, who became a member today. Big shout out, Jan Regal. Appreciate your support and your $5 super chat. He says, Jaylen struggles getting to his second and third read if his first read isn't there. It's obviously an issue with him. Great athlete, average quarterback. Agreed. Big Sills, your take.
Well, first, before I go there, Sills is Eugene. Your name, M. Reyes, is Famunda Cheese. That's your name, okay, M. Reyes? Famunda Cheese.
Oh,
okay.
No.
Here's the take here. Jaylen struggles getting to his second and third reads. You know this already, though. You know this. This is what
That's why I love the run game.
That's why your boy Zander wants to hide his deficiencies by running the ball.
I want to win. I want the Philadelphia Eagles to win. I
Okay.
don't care about any one player, any stat, any quarterback, nothing. Win football games. This is who's under contract, and this is what I believe will be the best recipe for winning. It's not about any one person. It's not about being a hater. It's not about crying about who's elite. It's about winning games for the Birds. That's what it's about.
Wait a minute. I got to get my targets. I got to get my targets.
It's a stupid comment. I agree. What are you holding me to it for? It's a stupid comment.
All right. All right. I just want to make sure Bum Juice knows that too. Go ahead.
Big shot. That's a little.
I love Brian, man. Brian, I love you, dude. Brian, you're a good man. Go ahead, read it because they have a problem with me reading.
Yeah, you're not very good at it. If they can't stop the run, never stop running it. Well, yeah, pretty simple.
That's unfortunately, Jaylen, that's something that the Eagle management and the coaching staff, once they get the directive from upstairs, and old Jeffrey comes parachuting in and says, we got to throw the ball. I'm paying all this money for my offensive weapons. Zander thinks over here, this guy right here, the guy to my right, thinks this is the formula to win. Well, the formula also in my bank account is $51 million in salaries for my 2 receivers and I got $100 million in 3 guys. And you want me to run the ball 45 times. Okay.
Yeah, that's a Jeffrey Lurie problem. You should have thought about that before you paid a dual threat quarterback for a pass-happy offense. We got Gary Kopp, so let me roll through some super chats real quick. Sean Goodwin, finally here live. Go Birds. Appreciate it, Sean. Thanks for checking in, brother. Here we go. We got a couple more, 2 more, 3 more. He says, now I know Barkley's career hasn't been the best, but you can see Barry Sanders in this guy. The Giants give up their Barry Sanders.
I don't
know about that far. You'd have to tell me. Big Sills.
Barry Sanders? No, I'm not going there, but it looks awful good. Barry Sanders? I don't think so. Yeah. Hang in there now. All right.
Big Fish Little Boat says, Jaylen was under center a lot for the first quarter. Thought that was very interesting. Thoughts? Agreed. Was interesting.
Yeah. Well, you're under center when you throw the ball 14 times. Hey,
and Brian
5 completions for 25 yards against the rest of the guys. So it's all right. I got
one more from Brian, who says, Sills, I'm not impressed by the QB play. Myself, squat 600 pounds, Hive are full of surfs. These simpletons need to do better. Wow,
Brian.
Brian is getting in more and more rare form each day that goes by. Last one from Man in Black. It's a good game when your safeties get the day off.
Very good. Yeah, they had the day off. Absolutely. All right.
Zander, I'm out of here. My friend. Appreciate it, Big Sills. Thanks, everybody. Hit that like button. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. As he said, please hit the like button. And I'll tell you what, man. Tomorrow we're going to have Eric Allen